Welcome to a very, very wet Wednesday morning here in Drogheda. It is, it's pretty bad. So everyone is walking around trying to get out of the rain as quickly as they can. It's not good, and I believe it's going to be like this all day. So that's what we're in for. We're facing into, but not to worry. We're going to get on with things. I hope everyone's had a pretty good week. I'm still on a bit of a high after Ireland's rugby win against New Zealand at the weekend, which was a fantastic performance. So well done to the boys in green. I had a really good talk last week for a few schools in the Drogheda area on anxiety in children, which was really enjoyable and got a really good response, got a lot of positive feedback. So if you want to listen back to that, you can get it on the Limor app, Limor. It's completely free and you can sign up there, or it will be going live on our own podcast channel hopefully in the next few days. Definitely by Monday it'll definitely be up, but we're trying to kind of push things out for you and let everybody experience things as much as they can, so that if there are things that you miss or you can't get to, or it's not in your region, you can still access them online. So pay attention to our podcast channel. The talk on anxiety in your kids will be up with some practical tools, and hopefully some nice anecdotes that can kind of I suppose reassure you that you're kind of doing the best that you can for your kids. So I'm going to crack on with things today. First things first, my son is getting his first mobile phone for Christmas, and both me and my husband are nervous about him getting it. What advice can you give us around how to manage this as best we can? It's funny how getting a phone seems to be such a big thing now for a lot of parents and kids, in terms of the kids are so excited because all of a sudden they're getting what all the other people in the world have and they don't. They're the only ones who don't, but also the fact that they're getting to connect with and engage with people on a different level in ways that they've probably never done it before. And for parents it's completely nerve-wracking because there are tons of scare stories, tons of worries out there for parents around what their child is going to access, or who's going to have access to their child when they're online. So I suppose there's a few things. First things first, you have a bit of time now. It's not Christmas yet. We have the guts of a month just over until Christmas arrives. So you can start to put boundaries in place with your child around, this is what it's going to look like when you get your phone. There are going to be rules. There are going to be very clear boundaries around it. And well, I suppose you can check my website. There are a number of different suggested boundaries that you can have. But some of the very simple things are that look at what apps they want. There's a good chance they're going to want Instagram. A good chance they're going to want Snapchat, maybe Twitter, maybe Facebook. Now, you haven't said how old your child is, so I don't really know. But if your child is not at the legal age, for one, I would restrict those. But two, and this is something that's really, really important and something to be aware of, is that we can give in to our kids and we don't want them to be different. We don't want them to feel out of place. But if you give your child access to any social media or whatever social media they want, and it's unfiltered access, they're going to see things that maybe their brains can't process, that they can't deal with, that they're not quite sure if it's real or not real, because there's so much in terms of fake news and information out there. So it's really important that we help our kids transition through this. So really have a think about, are we going to let our child use social media? And if so, what social media are we going to let them use? And what are the boundaries we're going to put in place around this? So some of the software you can filter out certain words or whatever, but that can be very difficult to kind of keep on top of. Plus, what is the purpose of it? Now, some people will say, well, I don't mind my child having any social media because they need to learn about the world. Well, that's fair enough, but they need to learn about the world in an age-appropriate way, and having unfiltered access to social media is going to bring them a lot more information than they can possibly process, and none of us know how they're going to react. So it's going to be important that you really think about that. The other side of it, I would say, is get some monitoring software. There's tons of different monitoring software out there. There's ones that will show you everything that happens on the phone, but do you have time? And I'm sure you want your child to have their privacy as well. So do you want to see everything? Have you got the time during the day to check every single thing? Ask yourself that question. But you can also get monitoring software that's going to just let you know if something is flagged up, if something is concerning, and it'll let you know to have a conversation with your child. So do look into the monitoring software. I use one called Pocket Guardian myself, which works pretty well for us with our child. And it's going to be important that you do a bit of research, and you have the time to do the bit of research now. So don't be thinking like, oh, we just have to hand this thing over and all of a sudden we have to just let them loose with it. You absolutely don't. You are giving your child a phone, but that does not mean that they have earned a phone or that they will, they'll have access to anything they want. The other thing I'd say is it's important that you talk to your child about how being online is no different to being in the real world. So if they're interacting with somebody, they need to think about, are they going to, would they walk up to somebody and call them a name right to their face? The chances are they probably won't, because they're going to get possibly a punch in the face. So, do the same online. So treat people online as you would treat them face to face, and also treat people online like you would hope to be treated yourself. The other thing I would say is talk to them about privacy. So would you walk around and give complete strangers your phone number, your address? Would you walk around in your underwear downtown, in the street? They probably wouldn't. So don't just take photographs, because it's important that you talk about, if you take a photograph online or if you put something up online, it is there forever. It does not matter if they think it can be deleted or if it's disappearing in 10 seconds. It is saved somewhere and somebody can access it. And just because you might be madly in love with somebody and they ask you to send them a picture, you may not stay with them forever, and they may take a screenshot and use that against you, and you have to think about that. The other thing I'd say is be realistic. If people are being not nice online, if they're being disrespectful online and you're witnessing it, say on social media, you don't have to join in. You don't have to get involved. You can switch off. You can keep yourself away. The other thing I would say is make sure you can try and have as good lines of communication open as possible with your child, and then put the boundaries in place that there is, whatever it might be, that you have no phone during the week, or that you have limited access, and that the phone doesn't stay in the bedroom overnight. And don't give in to but I need an alarm and I've no other alarm. There are plenty of alarm clocks that can be bought for next to nothing. So take control of the situation. You don't have to just let them run free with it. You're in control. You are the parent. It's okay to put these boundaries in place, and if they're broken, the consequence is that the phone is taken away. So really sit down, have a conversation, go on to Help Me to Parent. There is a list of things that you can do, and start to look at sit down with your husband and look at what are the boundaries we're going to put in place. What are we going to allow? What are we not going to allow? And is it worth paying for monitoring software on a monthly basis so that we can keep an eye on what's happening and ultimately keep your child safe? Because that's what this is all about, just keeping your child safe. I hope that helps. If you do want more information or you're unsure of anything, do come back to me and drop me an email and I'll reply to you. Morning, Jennifer. Morning, Dulta. Good to see you both. My daughter's having to make her school subject choices, and came home saying she no longer wanted to do home economics, which had been her first choice all along. As another student told her it was hard, and she wanted to pick a subject that she has never shown any interest in because she was told it was easy. She loves baking and learning about things like that. How can we get her to choose the subject we know that she'll love and do really well in? Yeah, the old subject choices. So for those of you not in Ireland, when a child hits 12 or 13 and they go into first year of secondary school, they usually get some options that they can pick and choose, and you have to do them for a little while, and then you get to choose which ones you're going to keep or you'd like to keep, and the school will kind of try and give you what they can. So you have a child who is all of a sudden choosing that she doesn't want to do something based on the fact that somebody else told her that it was difficult. If we take that back for a second, it's all right to sit down with your child and discuss how it's not necessarily appropriate to sit down and make this decision based on what one person says, because maybe that person finds the subject exceptionally hard. So they're not lying, but maybe your daughter will actually find it really, really enjoyable. Maybe she will be really, really good. Maybe she'll excel. Maybe she'll get an A or whatever the new scoring system here in Ireland is. You know, it's not about forcing her to do it, but looking at the options and looking at why she's making that choice. Talking about the things that she's good at and why she's good at them, and why it's important that she makes her choice based on where she is. And if she wanted to do this other subject, can she do that? So she's always shown an interest in baking. She loves it. She's interested. And I would encourage her. Not that you're going to force her, but encourage her to really think about, well, you're the one that's going to have to live with the choices. And we can't change this. So it's important that you really think about the thing you enjoy at the moment, the thing you've been really good at, the thing that you've a really good chance of doing well in, versus something you've never shown any interest in, that you're only thinking of doing it because somebody else said it's easy. And maybe it is easy for them, but it might not necessarily be easy for you. If someone sat down and said to me, Alan, you should do home ec because it's easy, I wouldn't, because there's a good chance I'm not going to be very good at it, whereas there might be something else that I'd be better at. So really sit her down, have a conversation, and show her the reasons why it might be better for her to go with something that she actually has an interest in at the moment. And like we all say, if you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like hard work. Maybe this is the thing for her. Now, that's not to say that it won't be work. Of course it's going to be work, and whatever she does is going to be work, but it's important that she does pick the thing that's going to give her the best opportunity to get the best result that she can. So sit her down, have the conversation, and give her the pros and cons. And if she chooses not to do it, if she chooses to go against it, that's when you have to make a choice. Do we pull rank and say, no, you're not allowed change, you're going to do this, and you can apologise when she's older if she hates you for it? Or do you let her live with the consequences of choosing something else? Because she may do it really well at it, but she might not. And she is the one that has to live with that decision. So it might work out for the best or it might not, but that's up to her. I hope that helps. Okay, last one for today. I can't believe it's November and I'm having this conversation, but it is what it is. With the explosion of Christmas decorations in the shops and advertisements for Christmas all over our TV, my children are driving me nuts to get the decorations up in the house. I don't want it, and I honestly think that they won't be able to deal with the length of time until Christmas if I do put them up. Have you any suggestions? It's one of those things, there's those pictures going around going, I think I've seen a picture of a shed, and it's, what do you think of my Christmas decorations? That's right, they're not up yet because it's only November. There is, look, we all know that once we get over Halloween, it is boom, 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 Christmas, Christmas, Christmas everywhere. And we're bombarded with it. And it starts to put pressure on people to try and get things done and make people feel that, we have to go and buy our presents now because it's just going to be, crazy, and, we're not going to get that toy that our child really wants, and it's just going to be too much pressure. It's your house. You are absolutely okay in saying, no, we're not putting up our decorations until December. And maybe that's okay, because, it's going to be a good 3.5 weeks until Christmas. So, maybe you make an agreement with your kids that, all right, I understand you're excited. I understand that you want to have your Christmas decorations up because it's exciting. Look, let's be honest. Being a kid at Christmas is just one of the best things ever. But you don't want to have to deal with it. And ultimately, they're going to just whinge and whinge and whinge at some point because it's, oh my God, I can't believe it's only the 2nd of December and the decorations have been up for a week and a half. So what I suggest is sit them down and say, right, we're going to make a deal. I understand you're excited. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for the 1st of December, if that's going to work for you, or the first weekend of December, which is a Saturday. Perfect. So pick the 1st of December if that works for you, and pop them up and let your kids get excited then. And if they start to whinge and moan and whine about it, just remind them Santa is watching. He is watching, so it's important that they behave themselves and go along with what mum and dad say. It's really important. That's it, folks. Short and sweet one today. We've hit 16 minutes. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. Take care.